I'm Michael, and I'll be presenting MODIVLE today. So my presentation will comprise 4 parts. What MODIVLE is, why it exists, the stack it's built upon, and finally I'll just conclude with a demo.
What's that? How do you pronounce it again?
MODIVLE.
MODIVLE. Okay.
Yep. So MODIVLE is basically an NUS IVLE client. It uses the IVLE API to provide users with an alternate interface to access IVLE. The application...
Tell me, maybe it's not relevant, but I don't know anything about IVLE other than some of the other teams have showed us how they're using it to log in.
Sure.
I understand it's related to the school. I don't know what it does.
Okay, so
is it relevant to explain? If not, tell me no and we can skip it. But if it's relevant to your project, then I just want to make sure I understand.
It's relevant to my project. Actually, IVLE, in short, is basically just a portal that the school uses for students to interact, to get resources related to their modules and to find out stuff about the school, basically.
Yeah. So that's where you would go to select your modules and
not really. During term time, to get your lecture notes, to use the forum, maybe to get announcements, yeah, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a simple portal, nothing special.
So is that also where you check your exam results?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's everything that happens during term time happens on IVLE. Everything that happens after term time and before term time happens outside of IVLE.
Is that also where you check your email?
No.
Okay.
Are professors putting assignments up there and
Yes.
stuff like that, and the lecture notes?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Right, so moving on. So basically the application is currently hosted live at the address you see on screen. Yeah, I'm sure you're wondering right now how IVLE differs from MODIVLE, or more accurately, why would users want to use this instead? Let me cover the 3 main differences. The first of which is simplicity. I know this word kind of gets tossed around a lot, but right here it just means that it's easy to use. The actual IVLE, unlike the actual IVLE, it doesn't have pop-ups, it doesn't require you to manage multiple windows, it doesn't give you iframes that break your browser's back button or refresh button, etc. MODIVLE is basically everything you expect of a modern web application, nothing more. The second thing you'll notice about MODIVLE is that it just has 3 features. The actual IVLE has perhaps 50 features, or yeah, tons of features. But IVLE just has 3, namely announcements, workbin, and forum. For most students, these 3 features are actually the most used ones, perhaps even the only used ones of IVLE. So in keeping with simplicity, MODIVLE just ships with 3 features. Last but not least, MODIVLE is mobile. The actual IVLE, sadly, is not mobile friendly. I understand there are native applications that allow you to access IVLE on the respective platforms they were built for, but in my opinion, the need to install them, to download them and then install them is kind of a deal breaker if you just want to use it for occasional casual use. So what you see on screen is not responsive. The desktop application doesn't scale down to a mobile application. The desktop application and the mobile application are completely separate. They share a common code base, but that's it. This is so as to maximize the user experience on both platforms. Let me now briefly cover the motivation behind MODIVLE. So there are 2 main motivations behind this. The first of which is productivity. This basically means that the basic idea behind MODIVLE is to give the average user an easier time. And hence, what this means for IVLE is that it only ships with the relevant features. And this ease of use also means that MODIVLE had to be mobile friendly, not as a feature, but in its own right. The second reason why I built MODIVLE was for happiness. This might sound corny, but hear me out. We use IVLE very, very frequently on campus. IVLE certainly works, but I think that since we use it every day, we can do better. So IVLE from day 1 MODIVLE has adopted a design focus. Consequently, I hope that this will make it a joy to use for users. And in addition, you'll notice that it is intentionally clean. It takes away all the unnecessary distractions and allows the users to focus on the task they want to do. Now let me briefly cover the stack. The application is hosted on Amazon, running Node.js. On the back end, we have Express, uses the Express framework, backed by Redis, which is used, both as a session store as well as a caching layer to reduce latency of the API calls. And lastly, on the front end, we have Backbone.js, which is used to maintain the application state and handle the user's interaction. Yeah. If there are no questions, I'd like to proceed to my demo. Yeah, if you have a phone or something, you can join me at the address. I'll just be using the live site for the demo. So there'll be two parts to my demo. Firstly is the desktop application, and secondly is the mobile application. As I mentioned earlier, they are separate applications. They share a common code base. Yeah, maybe you'll see the difference or the similarities. So,
well, do we need a login in order to use this?
The application is currently sandboxed so that students can try it, anyone can try it, because during now it's a holiday and no one has any modules to play around with this application anyway. So it's currently sandboxed with a preview mode to allow you to just use it as though you have modules.
So what's the URL?
I'm so sorry.
It's going very slow for some reason.
Okay. Okay, so here's the desktop side. Basically, this is the landing page. I don't think this is really off. So this is the application. As you can see, it's very clean. It just does what it needs to. You select your modules here.
Oh, I see the website, and I see a preview button.
Correct.
The preview button doesn't do anything. Oh, wait a second. There, I think I just tapped on that corner. Okay, then most of the button wasn't doing anything, but I tapped on one side and it worked. Okay.
Oh, okay, because I think it's
So basically,
tap on like the right side of the button.
it's okay. I'll just like.
You tested with a BlackBerry and
no. Unfortunately, no.
It works on BlackBerry.
Oh, you
Yeah.
this time round.
but it is HTML5.
Yes. I think the reason why it's not working there is because I'm listening to the tab event, not the click event, which would definitely work on all mobile device. Yeah, and the tab event kind of is tricky. So let me just briefly run through the desktop application since it's half. Okay. So for the application is pretty simple. It's just it's just like that, and you get the 3 different views: the lecture notes, the work bin, the forum. Yeah, it's just a simple application that gets you what you want.
But this is pulling information from the existing IVLE already, right?
Yes.
So you're just basically
Reformatting.
redesigning the look.
Yes. One thing is the design. The second thing, I think, is the way it works. Because for IVLE, when you click on, let's say you want to access your work bin, it comes up in a pop-up. The work bin comes up in a pop-up, and like if I want to access a forum for this module, I get one pop-up. If I get the work bin for this other module, I get another pop-up. And
maybe you can quickly show us by comparing this versus what the current IVLE looks like, because we don't know.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we don't know what it looks like at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the IVLE. This is our IVLE.
Oh, it's super modern. Yeah.
So where's the work bin?
So basically every student has modules. I currently have a few trial modules. Thanks.
It's like 1995.
And let's say I want to access a forum for this module. It opens one like that.
And a pop-up window, even not even like a proper window.
And if I want the work bin here, I get this. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so you're reorganizing and redesigning the book.
yes. And yeah. So this is the actual IVLE. It works. It certainly works. It gets the job done.
So let's see what it looks like with MODIVLE.
So when you are in MODIVLE, is basically a single application. It's what you expect of a normal responsive web app. When you click on something, it just goes to the view you want. So if I want to change to a different module, I personally feel it's snappier and it's less of a pain to use, I would say.
Let's go back to Workbin and maybe click on some lecture notes.
Yeah. So to click on it and then you download. Yeah. Currently this is a sandbox application, so that files you're downloading is just a template. Yeah, just a basic point.
Is the forum, because I know like modern forums are really robust and all kinds of features and stuff. Is this just sort of, is the legacy forum just a simple threaded text? Or are there like, I guess what I'm thinking is a forum itself can be really complex.
Correct.
So you have to like redesign your own new forum?
Correct.
Or is
So
it just
what happens is that MODIVLE has existed since last semester. Towards the end of last semester, I built this thing. It started out with only Workbin support. Recently, in the holiday, I added in the announcement support and the forum support. So right now, both of them, they are, announcements is pretty simple. It's complete. The forum support, it's, I would say 80%. The posting to forum is still not, I have not built that yet.
Read only.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's read only right now. The main reason behind that is, I want to make sure it works as of right now, and I'm using Mixpanel to monitor usage patterns to make sure that users actually want to use the forum on MODIVLE, and to move on from there. Move on from there. If they.
How are you interfacing with IVLE?
With their API. So IVLE has an API. It exposes several things that I just pull data from there and I cache it on my server to reduce latency.
Okay, you cache it as well to end, right?
Yeah.
Because you change some of the flows as well, right? So
I'm sorry?
You've also changed some of the user flows?
Yes, I think I changed the way you would approach this thing, but
right.
I personally feel like it's simpler, like it takes fewer clicks to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So the stuff on the left is your modules, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I move on to the mobile application?
Yeah. Please.
So this is, I've changed the user agent to an iPhone, and the screen resolution, and I emulate touch events here. So let me log out first. It's a different site. So this is the mobile application, and so you select your module, you go to your announcement. It's pretty similar. The flow is almost like the desktop, just that you don't have the modules on the side, and you have to go back to the home page to get due to the screen size restrictions.
How do you know that these three, I mean, is it just based on your own experience that these are the three features to focus on?
Yes. It's based on my own experience, and as I mentioned, I started last semester. I started with the Workbin only, And people were saying that, oh, if you had announcements and forum, that would be all I need for IVLE. And so so over the summer I decided to add it in, and now I guess it's 80%.
Cool.
Do you have plans to add in other features, or at least have an option for people to add in features if they want to?
Yes and no. I personally feel like this project, since it's NUS related, that I shouldn't be deciding most of the stuff. Since in 4 years' time or in 3 years' time even, I probably won't be able to do anything about it. What I would probably do is just to see what people think, and if someone's interested, maybe take over development. And in fact, most of the decisions that I'm making is mostly from asking people and talking to people, since they are going to be the users. And it's different from like if it's an application that anyone can use and I can develop for indefinite amount of time.
Open sourcing?
Sorry?
Have you considered open sourcing?
Yeah, it's open source on GitHub.
Oh, okay. It is
Yeah,
already open source on GitHub.
So far,
can fork
like
it and
2 people have contributed pull requests, and yeah, I merged in their changes, and small
Cool.
change.
So besides repurposing the UI, are there any mobile specific features that you can use to actually make your application better on a mobile phone?
So for starters, IVLE doesn't work on the mobile side. Let me go to IVLE.
Right.
Yep, IVLE doesn't work on the mobile side.
Correct.
You will have to zoom in, and the pop-up just opens a new tab.
Correct.
That's one. On the mobiles, initially when I started, we used jQuery. I migrated over the summer to Zapdos. I'm not sure if you're familiar. It's smaller. It just focuses on mobile WebKit. It doesn't support legacy browsers, which I don't intend to. So it handles touch events. So
Right. How about for the work bin? So let's say I'm using an iPhone, and then I go to the work bin, I click on the PDF file. What will happen on a mobile device?
it opens the PDF file.
Opens the PDF and can okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
How about videos? Do you have any videos that you can actually show?
There's one segment of IVLE called webcast.
Right.
It uses a Silverlight plugin to
Okay.
show videos. I don't think it works on the phone. It definitely doesn't work on the phone.
Okay.
It works on the browser.
Okay.
It is not included in mod IVLE.
Okay. So that might be a good idea to make sure that the video plays directly on the phone itself, if possible.
Sure.
Okay.
I think what I'm most concerned about is feature creep, maybe. Yeah, if I start including everything and the users, like maybe it's like 10 of the users use it,
Right.
yeah, that probably I might end up with
Okay.
a huge mess like the actual IVLE.
But it's available for anyone to modify, so if they care about it enough, they can go.
Of course, because my initial thought was what's going to happen when I graduate. Yeah. And I realized that this has to be something that that's something that people can change and modify if they want to.
Okay, so just to put this in context, it's not possible for students to go through NUS without using IVLE. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you could. I just don't think you probably won't do very well. Like you don't get your lecture notes, which I think is kind of important.
Okay, that's the only way to get lecture notes.
Yes.
That's the only way to get your assignments as well. Okay.
Yeah. Some assignment. Yeah.
Has there been any other person in NUS who has tried redesigning IVLE before?
I'm not sure for the mobile applications. There exist several that are native to, like, I think the iPhone there's one, the Android there's one. I personally have not installed either because I don't. Like I said, it was a deal breaker for me to have having to install them. And apart from that, I see the IVLE as in general as kind of like it isn't really something you use a lot. You just want to get something done. You just want to download this file and get on with your work. Yep. So I've not actually in my experience, no.
So essentially, you're not actually building a mobile application. You're building a solution or redesigning the interaction
Yes.
for IVLE.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Definitely not a technical problem. Yeah.
Got it.
Mention it's been out since last semester. How many users do you have?
This is kind of embarrassing. I kind of deleted I initially named it something else. I tried to edit my Google Analytics profile, and I deleted the earlier records, which is
It's
kind
okay,
of.
you can give us just a rough.
Yeah.
Oh, I think at least 1,000 unique visitors have hit the site.
Okay.
Yep.
And are you getting any retention? Do they return?
Yes and no. Yes, because
Well, it's just a
it was
sandbox, right? So
it was towards the end of the semester.
yeah.
Then I think I had an average of like 10 returning users a day, which I think was quite good because it was the end of semester. Nobody needed any more lecture notes. You didn't need to go to IVLE.
But was it actually live with
Yes,
real
it was.
data?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There were many bugs. Most of them were ironed out, thankfully. Right now, yeah, it's sandboxed. I can't tell. I just have to wait and see.
I mean, really, it's quite good. I think the approach you've taken is really nice. I think one thing to maybe consider for the future is some kind of way to get a push notification or something if there's a new announcement or something new in your work bin, so you don't have to always go check the app. But I mean, that's just a minor thing. I mean, other than that, it's...
Well, it's not exactly an app, right?
No,
It's
right now,
browser.
for IVLE, you can subscribe to email updates for new changes.
It's just loaded through web
Yeah.
browser.
It's just loaded through a web browser,
Yes.
right? It's not
Yeah,
an application.
but I mean, you could, well, but easily enough to become an app, I guess, that you
Yeah,
can-
I think if you like want to package it into an application, it's pretty simple. There are some parts where like the back button works, which required some routing of the push state, the HTML5 push state feature. It works on a mobile phone as well.
Yeah.
Yep. I think all this will make it pretty easy to package into maybe like a phone get application, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Cool.
Okay,
Nice.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
thank you.